Welcome back friends, nothingwire.com, and we have the brand new Sony Xperia Z for you today. So let's start with what's in the box. You see, it's a pretty usual cuboid shaped box, cardboard. That's the Xperia Z. On the back you have some quick specs. We're gonna talk about those in a while, but let's check out what's in the box first. So you open and then straight away you get to the Xperia Z. Then you will have a USB adapter along with a micro USB to USB data cable. You have a pair of premium in-ear earphones, extra earbuds, and then manual, some setup guides and other stuffs. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you the earphones a bit. You see, so they are your X-bass earphones, so you'll have a deep bass. This flat design lets it go all the more inside and fits properly into your ears. Then you have the 3.5mm jack, which is gold plated. So being gold plated will filter the sound better than the one with silver plates. Let's come back to the device. So that's the Xperia Z for you. It's a beautiful device, 5-inch Android powered, full HD flagship model from Sony. So we'll come back to you with the detailed hardware review. Thank you. The Sony Xperia Z is one of the most beautiful phones we've seen around, and definitely the most beautiful Xperia phone yet. Mainly due to its very premium looking design. You see, it's an all glass design, so both on the front and on the back you'll have glass, although very strong as Sony promises. You have a flat, more edgy kind of deck of card kind of design that gives a phone that thinness or that seamless look. There you see, it's only 7.9mm thin, so it's again one of the thinnest device in the market, and with this minimalistic look it gives a very classy overall feeling to the design. Build wise also it's IP57 certified, so your Xperia Z is water resistant up to 1 meter for about 30 minutes, and also it's dust resistant. It also has a shatterproof glass and it's scratch resistant. So you have a beautiful as well as rugged device at your hand. The front part is dominated by the 5-inch TFT LCD screen, 16 million colors, and you have a 1080 by 1920 pixels. That's a full HD screen, which translates to about 441 ppi, which is incredible. On top you have the 2.2 MP front camera that records at full HD. Then you have the earpiece here. Below you have a pretty thick bezel. There you see the side bezel is pretty thin, and you have an edge-to-edge glass construction here. That's the mouthpiece. On the right side you have the speaker there, the aluminum volume rocker, the aluminum power switch. Then you have a covered port for your micro SIM. Now these two are aluminum because what Sony says is on an average you press the power button about 67 times a day. So and almost on a similar count for the volume rocker. So these two buttons needs to be absolutely durable so that it can stand the test of your abuse. So aluminum constructions make sense. on top you have again a covered 3.5mm audio jack. On the left side you have two covered ports. That's your micro SD port, and then you have that's your micro USB port, by the way, and that's your micro SD card slot. You also have the connector for your power dock. Below you have the eyelet for your lanyard. So as you see, wherever there are ports, they are covered to make it water and dust resistant. On the back you have an incredible 13.1 MP Exmor RS sensor rear camera that records at full HD at the rate of 30 fps. You have a secondary mic here, LED flash, and then the Xperia logo. Yeah, so that's pretty much about the hardware. It looks very sleek like that, but then feels very durable. And what Sony says is that this, although the back is made of glass, it's so strong that in the industry it sometimes is used instead of metal. So there is a film on top of this glass to add to the durability. Yeah, so we'll come back to you with the detailed user interface in the next part of our review. Yeah, let's start up the Xperia Z now. So while it's starting up, let's talk about the specs. This guy is powered by Snapdragon S4 system of chip, which has a 1.5 GHz quad-core Crate processor and an Adreno 320 GPU. It has a battery measuring 2330 mAh, 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of internal memory, supports micro SD card to extend your memory. Full HD screen, as I told you before. Yeah, so that's the lock screen. So let's talk about the display a bit. One of the most criticized feature of the Xperia Z. You see the wallpaper here looks brilliant, but when you go to the home screen, this is a full HD screen, mind you, so probably the crowd expected the icons and backgrounds to be livelier, and we agree that the icons and the overall color has less saturated touch to it than we would have liked. Just to give you a comparison of this LCD screen full HD with an HD AMOLED screen of my Note 2, and you can see the difference is so apparent. These icons almost feel like they are printed on the glass. They are sharp, deep colors, properly saturated. On the other hand, you can see the ones on the Xperia Z look pretty bland and with less saturation and hue also. Also, the main app deck has this grayish semi-transparent background that adds to the blandness, I would say. So you see the difference. However, there is a good side to it. Now, because it's a full HD screen, if it had all lively and rich, sharp colors, it would have drained out your battery real fast, because the display drains, or the display takes more than about 50% of your battery. So being a little bland, this actually helps your battery life. Let's come to the viewing angle, which again it's not superlative, but pretty good. The fonts are thin, which make them almost illegible when you hold the phone at a greater angle. There you see. Even here you almost will have to go by the icon. Yeah, so that's about the display. So let's come back to the user interface. Let's talk about the user interface now. The Sony Xperia Z is powered by Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean and it's scheduled to receive 4.2.x. Now it has pretty similar Sony custom UI on top of Jelly Bean, but there are a few changes for betterment. So you see the home screens there. The long press will actually show you the home pages, and then you can add your widgets or apps or wallpapers from here. You can add additional home pages from here. You see there are 5 home pages right now. Go to plus and you see it becomes 6. Go here, plus becomes 7. You can also delete it from those. Stays at 5. You can bring in the same menu by pinching in. If you remember earlier, on pinching in or on long press, it would have shown you the floating widgets. That's gone now and replaced by a more traditional form of adding widgets and apps to your home screen. So on pressing widgets, you'll have the widget menu here. Lots of widgets out there. You can add apps. That's notification. You can extend it or pull it back. You can clear all the notifications. You have some quick toggle buttons there: volume, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, mobile, data connection, and then you can go to the settings. You will see that this hotkey bar is present at all times, like your Nexus devices, which effectively makes the viewing space of the screen less than 5 inches. Do you see, even when you go to the app menu or pull in the notification there, these buttons are always there. Now we don't understand why Sony did not choose to place this here, because there are a lot of empty space here where Sony could have placed these 3 icons and made the screen an actual 5-inch viewing space. So let's go to the settings and show you. Pretty much similar and usual Jelly Bean settings menu that you would see. Supports NFC. You have call settings, and Sony has some settings of enhancing your call quality, like if you're talking on speaker, speaker voice enhancement, internet calling, and some other stuff. Similar with sound, you have a clear phase, auto adjusting your audio quality. You have X loud. Display, you have Mobile Bravia Engine 2. Now Mobile Bravia Engine 2 makes viewing on this screen a similar experience to the Full HD Sony Bravia TVs. You can change your themes from here. A lot more themes this time. Storage, as you can see, 11.73 GB, so total storage is 16 GB. Rest are taken by your system apps. You have an Xperia where you can do settings specific to your Xperia devices. So you have these accounts available. And I wanted to show you is power management. So you see this guy's average standard time right now is 1 day 7 hours. That's in full power mode. Sony gives you by default these power options, which enhances your battery life. So let's say on stamina mode, it will disable the mobile data when the screen is off. You have a low battery mode. You have a location based Wi-Fi where it will only switch on the Wi-Fi and connect to your saved network. This is a very good initiative from Sony. You do not need a third-party battery life saving app anymore. Stamina mode particularly is very useful, and we mostly use this mode. Let's go to about phone. So there you see 4.1.2 Jelly Bean. That's the build number for your reference. You have a software update center where you will see all kind of updates clubbed into one app or one particular UI, which is again a very good thing. You do not have to go to the apps manager to update others, to update the firmware. You do not have to go to about phone. All are within this UI. Yep. So let's check out the main app deck. So these are your apps. You can arrange them in your own order, alphabetically most used or recently installed. You have these edit options. So once you select customize, then it brings back to your apps and widget adding menu. Then you can search any app from there. So let's check out the alphabetically. It pulls in a nice animation to sort the apps in an alphabetical order. Yeah, so let's check out the apps now. You have the usual Google Android apps like Google Plus, Maps, and Chrome, Gmail. You'll have Talk, then what is navigation, Messenger Plus, Play Store, YouTube. You have some third-party popular apps like Facebook, McAfee Security 7-day trial. Then you have Office Suite Viewer, Neo Reader, etc. Then you have some really cool Sony in-house apps that I'm going to show you right now. So some of those are, you have backup and restore, you have the Sony movies and notes, then Play Now, Social Life, Smart Connect, Sony Select, Sony Car, and Track ID, Update Center, Walkman, Voice Pilot, etc. So let's check out some of these, starting from the album. So a usual Xperia kind of an arrangement for photo, where the most recent photo thumbnail is bigger than the others. Long press on any of them to select multiple photos, and you can either delete them or you can share them by all these means. You can also geotag them or share them via DLNA to other devices. If I go here and do a Sends Me slideshow, this, you'll see a very cool slideshow of all your photos. There you see, in a third dimensional view. Pretty cool, huh? You have My Albums, where all your albums are arranged side by side. It also syncs with your Facebook or Picasa albums and your geotag photos. Backup and restore backs up your data onto the SD card. We would have liked an online account, but it's not available. Have the calculator. Let's check out the calendar. Pretty nice. That's space to enter a new calendar event. You can view it in week or day mode. Now the camera. So the Xperia Z has a 13.1 MP Full HD camera with an Exmor RS sensor. That's the camera layout. A very good thing about is that you do not have to toggle between the still and the video mode. Whichever button you click, still or video will start accordingly. Your the hotkeys stay hidden there. It can appear upon tapping. So that's for the front camera. Yeah. Right now, as you can see, this particular mode is the full auto mode, so you only get options of flash, which has an auto, fill flash, red eye reduction, or you can choose to turn it off. You have some settings there. I'll come back to all of these settings in another mode. So you can go to the normal mode where a lot of other options pops up. You, by the way, have many other modes like video camera, burst, picture effects, sweep panorama, scene selection, and front video. So let's go to the normal mode. So you have your exposure compensation scale there. You can click a picture in HDR on. You can even shoot a full HD video on HDR. I've shown you the flash menu before. So let's check out some of these menus. Now I have many other options popping up. You see, if I go to the superior auto mode, you do not have so many options here, because most of the things the camera takes care of. Now by default it has 9 MP in the settings. You can go to 13 MP, but it will only give you a 4:3 aspect ratio. You'll suddenly see the UI shrinking. So it's not widescreen anymore. If you want to click or shoot widescreen, then you will have to scale down to 9 megapixel. Let's see. So it's totally your personal choice. You have a self timer. If you're shooting while on the move, then I suggest you keep a 2-second self timer on, so that to prevent shake. You have a smile shutter. You can choose to click at the intensity of the smiles. Then you have a quick launch. That this says launch only, which is, let's just demo it to you. So when you go to the screensaver, you have options of quick launching the camera or the music. So as it says launch only, once you drag, it will only launch the camera. But then if you select here something else, let's say launch and capture. Now when I go here, I lock the phone and I come back to the screensaver, I drag, it will take a photo. There, see, it took the snap. So likewise, you can have some other options as well. You see, you can have launch and record video, or you can even switch this off. You have the focus mode, exposure value, I've shown you before, HDR I've shown you before. You have these white balance options. Auto works best in most conditions. You have ISO ranging all the way up to 1600. Metering options. You have image stabilizer, geotagging, touch capture or shutter sound, or you can choose the data storage to be your memory card or the internal storage. Yeah. Now let's check out the lag. So let's say while in full auto mode, it's taking a while, mainly to focus, but otherwise it's almost negligible lag. Same is the case when starting a video. There you see. Now let's talk about the camera in a little more detail. As you know that it's a 13 0.1 MP camera. It has a sensor size of 1 by 3.06, which is pretty good and one of the biggest sensor in the mobile industry right now. The sensor type is Exmor RS, which is a new set of 3 sensors that Sony has invented. Exmor RS is basically Exmor R stacked. So let's show you how the architecture works. Now in typical Exmor R, in typical sensor, you will see your pixel regions here and then your circuit regions aligned between the pixel regions. Do you see? Now what it does is that whenever the light falls on the sensor, some of the lights are lost because of these circuit regions, because these disperse the lights. Now what the architecture of the Exmor RS sensor places the pixel region totally on the top, and then you have the circuit region arranged in stack here. Both are BSI sensors, mind you. Now arranged in stack helps in this way that whenever light falls on the pixel regions, the whole amount of light is distributed properly within all the pixels, and there is no alien parts here to disperse the light, or where the light can get lost, because the circuit region is arranged in stack and stays behind and does not disturb the distribution of light among the pixels, which essentially makes your pictures better quality. Yeah. So coming back to the apps. Chrome is the default browser, so sadly you do not have flash support. Let's check out the keyboard. By the way, you have a pretty nice big keyboard, both in the portrait as well as in the landscape mode. See, it takes some time to rotate. Now you have the symbols on top. The problem is, the moment you start typing and the moment it starts giving the suggestion, the symbol menu disappears. Now if you need to press a dot or insert any symbol, you need to go here and then press it, which actually reduces your speed while typing. What you can do is you can go to settings and then language and input, and then settings, and you can choose your keyboard layout to be a detailed one. So once you select this, now you will see you have the symbols and the numbers on this keyboard, so that you can long press any key to actually get the symbol. You do not have to switch between different keyboard spaces there. Then you have the contacts, usual. You can set up your online account from Google. Then that's the dialer, big enough. You have favorites and your groups. If FM radio still does not work without your earphones plugged in. Messaging supports threaded view, and you can attach various stuffs there and make it MMS. What else? You have a movie editing app there. The movies pretty much has the same UI as the gallery. The notes, you can choose to write with your keyboard, or you can choose to write with your fingers or a capacitive pen. Then What else we have? Social life, that basically shows your Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and other streams at one place. It takes some time loading. There you see. All different color denotes streaming from different services. Smart Connect lets you configure whenever which app should launch on each of these actions. See. So you can choose the phone to launch music on the go when you connect headset. Yeah. Oh, the Sony car app helps you operate and navigate while driving. And what else? Track ID listens to a song and tell you which song it is if you do not know of that. Then you have the update center I shown you before. Walkman, Sony's signature app, and it has almost a similar UI but little faster, smoother and a better experience overall. You see, again you flick to change. Playing is your current playing songs. My Music arranges your music in different kind of stacks here. So you can arrange your music according to the tracks, albums, artists, playlist and others. You can share your music wirelessly, download music info, then you can go to settings, and once you switch on the clear audio plus, the Walkman app automatically sets the equalizer to enhance your music output. But then if you rather choose manually, you can go to sound enhancement and you have lot many options here. There's a lot many options. You have X loud, clear phase, etc, etc. Now while playing a song, you can do these stuffs. Yeah, so that's pretty much about it. Voice Pilot is again look for places, important places nearby. You have an Xperia link with which you can link wirelessly to other compatible devices. Yeah, so that's pretty much about the user interface. A great collection of in-house apps so that you do not need many third-party apps to make your life easier. Thank you.